Ooh. Whoa. That is not what I expected. Well, hey friends, this is a first look at the new Orangewood Mason Live. Now this is a beautiful all gloss mahogany top. So it's a solid mahogany top. It is layered sapelli back and sides. That's an interesting difference. This is proper mahogany. It's still stained darker, but then also on the back and sides, it is layered sapelli. Now it has a gloss neck as well. I don't think the neck is mahogany. I think it's a lighter wood that's stained a little darker. The gloss headstock is a really cool touch. I also really like the upgraded logo. The logo is now really its own thing. Before, it really pulled a lot of vibes that came from orange amplifiers, and but I really like this. I still like how simple but still ornate this guitar is. Now, here is the million-dollar question. This guitar is only $475. Comes with a gig bag, comes with an LR Bags pickup, and let's talk about this guitar from top to bottom. This is a 3-question gear review. So the 3 questions that we ask are: what's good about this guitar? What's bad about this guitar? And if you were me, if I were you, would I recommend this guitar? Me, personally, would I say, hey, hard-earned dollars should be traded for this guitar? So let's dig in. Number 1, what is good about this guitar? This guitar is at a price point that is really competitive, but also this thing packs a lot of features. So what's good about this guitar? The first thing, I love dark top guitars. I love mahogany guitars. I just love the look that is different. Whether that's koa, whether that is mahogany, it's just a cool expectation to break if you get a cool guitar that has a different color top. Now, most of the time, when you get a guitar under $500, you're still in that territory of will they, won't they get a solid top guitar? And these two things, if you draw a Venn diagram that is guitars under $500 and guitars with dark tops, you're going to have a very small overlap in which these guitars would actually be solid top guitars. And so with that, the mahogany, the stained dark, the gloss finish is very cool for me. I also like the Powell Ferro bridge and fingerboard. I like the bound fingerboard as well. Gloss headstock. There are many ways in which these guitars usually, they usually cut costs and make these very affordable, that on this guitar they've actually gotten to do right. One of the other things that is really great about this guitar is the pickup system. Now this is interesting. It is an LR Baggs Element, but it is also an LR Baggs Element Bronze. This is a pickup that they've worked with LR Baggs, and they've custom voiced this for this guitar. So that begs the question, does it sound good? Okay, so this is a Bose S1 Pro, and so I'm just going to plug straight into it. Battery-powered, basically a miniature PA system. This is excellent. Watch out for a video on this coming up soon. I mean, it sounds like an LR Baggs Element, and in some ways that is such a nostalgic and wonderful tone. That super powerful, heavy low end, and then that really shimmery treble. I mean, it lets you do a lot of things. So there's a sound clip. That's how the guitar sounds. Other good things about this guitar, it's just a really good ergonomic shape. It's really comfortable. It's good that they already put a strap button on. It's still amazing to me how many guitars come and they don't have a strap button. And just, I mean, it's a stressful thing. Like if the first thing you're gonna do when you buy a guitar is to drill a hole in it, that's stressful. Or you're gonna have to pay somebody to do it. So for me, I think that pretty much all guitars need to have strap buttons when they come to you. Now, I like this guitar. I like this guitar a lot, but let's talk about the things that I don't like or might not be as great about this guitar. And this is where I just have to be honest. This guitar doesn't sound excellent. Now, there's two reasons why I think it doesn't sound excellent. There's a bunch of reasons. Number one, I think that the big thing with this guitar is that coming from Southern California, being made in China, right? Indonesia. Being made in Indonesia, coming to Southern California to get set up and then getting sent to me in the Shenandoah Valley in October, this is a really unfair component. This guitar literally came straight out of the box, and so now you're seeing it straight away. Now, with all of that, it just puts it to where this guitar needs a good setup, and it could have a setup, and it could be fine, and it could sound a lot better. It's pretty buzzy right now. Oh boy. So if I play really hard, I'm also using a 1.5 millimeter pick, so listen, we'll give that one a wash. With a good setup, this guitar would not buzz. Now, the other reason that this guitar might not sound as good, and every single one of you is probably going to send me a video from Chris and Driftwood Guitars of them cutting open, I think it was an Ava, another Orangewood. These guitars have the reputation of being overbuilt, and I'm gonna kick that back into the really good spot. I think that a guitar like this, it needs to be overbuilt. This is not, let's talk about in-car comparisons. This is not a Lotus. This is probably more like a Mazda, like an MX-5. Now, an MX-5 is incredibly fun. It is a fun, zippy car. It's cool. It is purpose-built for you to have fun. purpose-built for you to have fun. The same thing is true of this guitar. And where that comparison really comes to life is that a Mazda needs to be built to handle some abuse because it's a fun thing that you're going to use. And in order to use it, it needs to be able to survive those things. Where a Lotus, you need to live close to a dealer and you need to be aware. Listen, the more money you spend on a guitar, the more money you are going to have to put back into maintenance and service. The expectation that you would spend money and therefore not have as much go on with the guitar is just an unrealistic expectation. So this guitar is probably overbuilt, which is why it's a little tinny. Now what I will say is I think with a good setup and a better set of strings, this guitar will sound excellent. The last thing that I have to say against this guitar is the binding on the neck. Now there is a scarf joint on the back of the neck, and it's pretty well concealed. The stain kind of covers it, but I think one of the parts, if I had to be critical of this guitar, to hold it against the standard, because these guitars typically can punch way out of their weight class. So one of the things that I need to do is hold this against a guitar that would be $1,500 or so. The way the binding comes off of the head plate itself, it flows past the nut. It's hard to explain. I'll have to show you with another shot here. But where the nut meets, you can tell that it is there's still markings on the nut. So you can see that this was cut and fit. It is actual bone made by real people. And so that's exciting and good, and that's a really good thing. One thing that is interesting is I think that this joint was just, I don't know, it's just a design feature that I wish that binding would have met at the nut, and then you would have had this straight line of the binding on the neck itself, on the fretboard sides. I wish that would go straight. So there's just this little triangle here in which it just feels like maybe there's a little bit of binding covering up something. At $475, this is a ton of guitar. So that kicks us over into the final question. If you were me, if I were you, should you buy this guitar? Now, I think that this guitar is so much better than guitars I spent more money for when I was learning how to play. I think that this guitar is for someone that is playing in church, playing out, playing in a farmer's market, and you want a guitar that you can take with you that will sound good, be predictable, be reliable. That's the audience that is really paying attention to Orangewood, and that's the audience that is benefiting so much. I like these guys. I really love Orangewood. I love the brand, and I'm excited for them. This is a really pretty guitar, and I think that for $475 with a gig bag, with a pickup, this thing is, I mean, pretty much everything you could ask for. I wish it sounded a little better. Now with that, like I said, there's two things I can do to make it sound better. I could give it a setup. I could put a different set of strings on it. I think that this guitar will become a really sweet, really mid-present guitar. It's never going to be boomy. This guitar will never rival a D28 or a big Dreadnought. But if you want that, there are other guitars from Orangewood that would fit that big, boomy, full bass if you want it. Look at the Hudson. That's an amazing guitar. This guitar is very contemporary. It is very modern. I really love the look, especially the juxtaposition of this really dark, beautiful grain in the mahogany against the bright iridescent abalone, and then you have the bright white bone saddle. And so to me, man, this one is pretty much a winner. There is a link in the description down below. If you're interested in one of these guitars, click that link. It's not necessarily an affiliate link. I don't get paid for people that buy guitars through that link, but it will help track the effectiveness of my video and just, you know, So if you're interested, click that link and you'll find the listing for this guitar. And I think overall for $500, it's an exceptional guitar. It's really exciting. And yeah, get it, just put some good strings on it, play the bejeebus out of it. And when you do, it'll sound excellent and it'll take you many places. Oh, the places you will go. Anyway, well, landed that one. So, I'm Jeremy. I'm the Guitar Hunter. Make sure you're subscribed. This is an Orangewood. Check out the link in the description down below. Check out these boys and girls. They're making really good, exciting stuff. It is the best time to be curious, interested in guitars right now. It's the best. So, thanks for watching. I'm Jeremy. I'll see you later. Bye. So, that was a good one. That was a freaking blooper. That's a good one.